and whoever answered the phone when I phoned up seemed like they knew what they were talking about. So I come up to, my parents lived in Crawley, so I was in Crawley, and I went up to London to meet up with these guys, and there was two guys, Mick and Tony, and what they were talking about made a lot of sense, and I played them a demo that Bastard had done in Belgium, and they liked it, and I thought, right, okay, cool. So, because things are kind of split up for Bastard in Brussels, the singer and the drummer have both like met girls and got married and stuff, you know, and things kind of started to fade out a bit, and it was like, I don't know, I've got to look elsewhere now. It's the end of the road for Bastard, basically. And yeah, and I talked to these guys, and it was like, okay, cool, right. So I've got my amp and my guitar back. I had my guitar, but I've got my amp and everything back. Then we started rehearsing and messing about and auditioning. We were looking for like a drummer and a singer, and because Mick Jones, who went on to do the Clash, he played guitar and that, and he had some nice ideas for songs and stuff. And Tony was a bass player, Tony Jones, who went on to do like Gen X and stuff. And then that come down, and that changed everything. Then it was like, hey, the Men from the Boys and all that sort of stuff. And
I mean, that we'll definitely talk about Rat. He made some great contributions to this book.
Yeah, Rat was wonderful. Yeah, he's a really nice guy, and I really enjoyed Rat because he's very candid and very open.
Yeah.
On people.
Yeah. Yeah, he was. Yeah, on people. Yeah. No, he said a message to him today, and he says to send good luck and best wishes to you. Anyway, Yes. Actually, what he said was, I've already sent the message to Brian, wishing him good luck for tonight. That's what he said. So very candid. Yeah, definitely. So he.
What's he want?
10 grand. Yeah.
Rat was really nice.
Yeah. It really comes across. Yeah.
You know, just very genuine and very open. You know, very nice.
That group became the London SS, and you describe it in the book as never a band, more of a rehearsal band.
That's what it was, really. We were more of an audition band, actually. We tried all kinds of like drummers and singers and stuff, and it was really crazy because I met some nice people who later become friends and stuff like that. Not suitable people for what we wanted to play or what I wanted to play anyway.
Well, remarkably, the London SS are still going, and some of them are here tonight, aren't they? Where's Taj?
He's at the bar.
He's at the bar.
Good man, is that?
Yeah. Taj, he's what does he play in the band?
Guitar, rhythm guitar.
Yeah, plays guitar. He's got your job.
Brady on lead.
Who?
Brady.
Brady on lead guitar.
Oh, Brady.
He's out there catching cigarettes, isn't he?
Yeah.
At best.
And then, as you said, Christopher Miller came down for an audition, and Mick and Tony didn't think he looked rock and roll enough.
He didn't look rock and roll enough.
Yeah.
And I didn't care what he looked like, it's what he sounded like that mattered to me. You know, being a musician and wanting a really dynamic drummer. And he fit the bill big time, more than big time, because he brought something that I wasn't expecting at all.
Yeah.
You know, and after all these boring people that were coming down and auditioning, it was like, Jesus Christ. And how can you, who cares what he looks like, you know?
Yeah. It's interesting as well in the book, I mean, you give him a lot of credit, you say he brought out the best in me.
He did.
Yeah, and something different.
We brought out a whole bunch of stuff that I didn't know I had in me.
Right.
And that it was a revelation, you know, it was wonderful.
Yeah.
Really. And it inspired me, basically, write most of the first Stand Down.
Right.
If it weren't for Rat, I wouldn't have written some of them songs, that's for sure. I knew Rose would never have been written properly.
Yeah.
But he's so powerful
Oh, totally, yeah, incredible style of drumming, yeah, absolutely. And can we just clear up now how Rat Scabies got his name, because everybody's got their own story, and it is documented in the book. Can one of you tell exact story of how Rat Scabies got his punk name?
Brian can tell, he was there.
You're getting off easy, John Wombat.
Well, Rat come down and he had scabies. So the first thing that Tony did was put a bit of newspaper on the drum stool. He was like, oh, all right. And he sat down and started playing, started bashing the fuck out of the kid. And we stopped, and Mick was saying something about, oh, let's try something like, you know, some other song or something like that. And as he spoke, a rat, it was a cellar place in Paddington, a rat ran across the floor. And Mick just come up with it. He said, oh, rat scabies, you know. and it was like, you just said it. And Ratty liked it, so he kept it.
Did he like it? Yeah. Unusual thing to like.
Rat isn't the most of the... He's not a usual person.
And you changed your...
I love him to death, but
yeah.
You know, I could never call Rat usual.
No, definitely not. And you changed your surname?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why did you choose...
I changed mine because my real name, my family name is Robertson. And there was a guy in Thin Lizzy called Brian Robertson. They had two guitar players, and one of them was called Brian Robertson. And I thought, well, I don't really want to get confused with this guy. He was a fair enough guitar player, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
He wasn't me.
He was all right. Yeah. And so you picked James.
So I picked James.
Yeah.
I picked James because my favourite guitar player at that time was James Williamson.
Right.
He was a guitar player with Iggy and that Stooges doing Raw Power. And of course, Iggy's Christian name is James as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was just like, that's an obvious one, Brian Jones.
Cool.
And I was a big fan of Brian Jones from the 60s in the Stones.
Yes.
He was the cool Stone.
Yeah.
When I was a little kid.
Definitely the best looking.
Oh,
yeah, definitely.
John,
did I see that Dave Robinson contributed to the book? Did Jake contribute as well?
No.
Did you try and get a hold of him, talk to him, or?
I think Dave Robinson gives a good account.
Yeah. Very well answered. Okay. And can you talk a little bit about the differences between Jake and Dave as sort of characters, because they ran stiff together?
I don't know. They were kind of a little bit kind of chalk and cheesy, in a sense, in the fact that Jake was one that would be looking for angles and coming up with a lot of things, whereas Dave was more matter of fact. And he'd been around, I think, longer than Jake. I mean, Dave went back to the days of Hendrix. He used to work with Hendrix and all this sort of stuff in the 60s.
Yeah.
Whereas Jake he came up in the early 70s, as far as I know, doing like tour managing Dr. Feelgood, bands like that, you know. And but the thing was with Stiff Records, you had a whole bunch of eclectic kind of people. They had the artist there was a guy called Barney Bubbles, and the man was a genius. He really, I mean, I don't use that term hardly ever, but I usually use it actually for artists, and it was just so good. I mean, he'd come up with all these spontaneous ideas. It was like a mad professor. He was a lovely, lovely guy. And so you had all these different characters, really, within Stiff Records, which made it kind of like it was more like a kind of a social club, drinking club. There was a pub. If people weren't in the office, I was in the pub right next door, and there'd be musicians, you know, Lemmy coming down there because they were putting out stuff by Motorhead. people from the fairies, you know, the pink fairies down there. You had all kinds of people there. People
Yeah.
just coming in, people with demos, you know, and that wanting to sign up with Steph. It really was. It was the ideal record label. I mean, we got kind of chased a bit by the majors, but when you see these people in their suits and stuff, or trying to be sort of hip, you know, it was like, nah.
They wouldn't get,
No, it's stiff. It's got to be with stiff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, excellent.
Yeah.
So you and Rat had this kind of like electricity, this chemistry together for, you know, forming a band. So you left the other two, and then found two new band members. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, Rat knew what he turned into being Captain Ray, as his name is. And they used to clean toilets together up at Fairfield Halls. And he'd met, through Malcolm McLaren, who wanted to nick Rat for a band of his own. He'd met Dave, who became Vanian.
Dave Lett.
Yeah, Dave Lett, yeah. And so what happened was he invited Ray round to my flat where I was living in Kilburn, and I played him some music. I played him like, by this time I had the first, a friend of ours used to work for the NME, a journalist, a guy called Nick Kent.
Yeah.
And he was a great journalist, one of my favourite journalists as it turns out. And he got an advance copy of the first Ramones album. And so I used to have that, and once, because Nick was great, he just like give stuff away all the time. He'd get stuff and give it to you if he thought you was enjoying it. And I played Cats in like probably Raw Power, probably the first Dolls album, probably an MC5 thing, and most definitely at that point in time I would have played in the first Ramones album. And Captain had never heard of these bands or anything like that. And he was genuinely like, wow, what's all this? You know, I don't know nothing about this. He was more into a sort of like John McLaughlin's and sort of like more technical stuff, you know. And he had long frizzy hair and stuff like that. And he said, yeah, I play guitar, but I got onto bass and played with you. Yeah. And he was all keen. Yeah. And so me and Rat, a week or two later, were down in Nashville when the Pistols was playing. And there were two, I'd met this tall, skinny guy, a guy called John, a few times on a bus going over to King's Road or whatever. There was a couple. He lived just round the corner from me. And so I see him and I said, well, he might be kind of like interested as a singer. We've got to find someone who looks like something, you know. And he said, yeah, well, let's invite him down to have a you know, an audition as such. And he said, and then Dave Vanian, as he walked in, and I said, who's that? You know, because he looked like a vampire and all that, all dressed up. And it's like, wow, you know, that's kind of cool. Who's that? He said, oh, I know that guy. That guy's called Dave, and McLaren introduced me to him. Yeah. So we invited them both down, and the tall, skinny guy turned out later on to be Sid Vicious. Yeah. And, you know, the other guy was dear old Vanian. And only one of them turned up. Yeah. So he got the job. Yeah. I'm glad he did. Yeah, great. You know, Dave's gone from strength to strength over the years. You know. Yeah, you were saying that on the radio yesterday, how much of a fan you are of Dave's voice now. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Yeah. It's a total one-off, you know. Absolutely, yeah. Sid Vicious was annoyed, though, wasn't he, John, at the... when you spoke to, I can't remember if you spoke to Rat or whoever it was you spoke to about what Sid did at the 100 Club after they put on some, there was a punk festival at the 100 Club, and Sid turned up and did something very naughty because he was raging about not getting into the Damned.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, that's when he tried to, he threw a glass at Dave, missed, And it's well documented, you know, the glass shattered and, you know, blinded a girl in one eye. And so yeah, I think he was very, I think right was telling me about it. But